I'm going to start. Good morning, student. Today we are going to learn transfer of heat. Transfer of heat. As we are doing chapter number 4, heat. So we have discussed about temperature, what is heat, then measurement of temperature. We can measure the temperature with the help of a device, and that device is known as thermometer. Then two type of thermometer are there. One is clinical thermometer, which is used to measure the human body temperature, and the second one is the laboratory thermometer, which is used to measure the temperature of the object other than human. And there are some difference between clinical and laboratory thermometer. So range of the clinical thermometer is from 35 degrees Celsius to the 42 degrees Celsius. And what is the range of laboratory thermometer? The range of laboratory thermometer is from minus 10 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius. So there are some basic difference between clinical and laboratory thermometer. Then we have learned about the precaution while using a thermometer, whether it is a clinical or laboratory thermometer. So there are some precaution you have to learn that. Okay, which is given in a pink box. Okay, student. So now we are going to learn about heat transfer. This is our today's topic, heat transfer. So what is heat? Heat is a sensation of hotness or coldness. The sensation of hotness or coldness is the heat, means it is a form of energy. And student, always remember that in nature, heat is always flow from higher temperature to the lower temperature. Water is always flow from high level to the low level. This is the rule of nature. Rule of nature. So we have to follow that rule. Energy, heat. Heat is a form of energy. So heat will always flow from a body at higher temperature to the body at lower temperature. Okay. So let's start. Heat transfer. Heat transfer. You might have observed that a frying pan become hot when kept on a flame. We are cooking in a pan known as frying pan. It become hot when kept on flame. It is because the heat passed from the flame to the utensils. Obviously, the heat of flame will be passed through into that utensils or in that frying pan. When the pan is removed from the fire, it slowly cools down. So what will happen when we remove that pan from the fire? After some time, the pan or that utensil will slowly becomes cool. Why does it cool down? Why this happen? The heat is transferred from the pan to the surrounding. In first case, heat is transferring from burner or that flame to the pan. And in the second case, when we remove the pan from the flame, now what will happen? The heat of the pan will transfer to the surrounding. Now look in these two situations, what will happen? In first case, as I have discussed, that the heat will always flow from higher temperature to the lower temperature. In first case, the temperature of that burner flame is high than that of the pan, so that the heat will transfer from fire to the pan. In second case, when we remove that pan, what will happen? The temperature of the pan is high than that of the surrounding. Surrounding means the nearby area. Nearby area. So in second case, the heat will flow from the pan to the surrounding. That is why pan will slowly cools down. So you can understand that in both cases, the heat flows from hotter object to colder object. So student, underline this: hotter object to colder object. The object which is hotter always have high temperature. The object which is colder have comparatively low temperature. So as I have discussed with you that the heat will always flow from higher body temperature to the lower body temperature. Okay. So body at a high temperature to the body at a low temperature. In this case, as we have discussed the two situation, the same phenomena is going to be happen. That the heat flow from a hotter object to a colder object. In fact, in all the cases, heat flow from hotter object to colder object. So now there is a question Paheli asks, does it mean that the heat will not be transferred if the temperature of the two object is same? So now this is the situation. When the two body are at the same temperature, does any heat will transfer? No, no heat will transfer. You can imagine a situation that you are having two water pipe and you are holding in a in your both hand at the same height. So no water will flow from left to right or right to left. If you make some height difference, means one pipe at a lower height and one is the above height, means greater height, the water will flow from greater height to the lower height. Okay. In the same case, if the two body are having the same temperature, the heat will not flow from one body to the another body. Let us perform an activity. Activity 4.6. Take a rod or flat strip of a metal, say aluminum or iron. A rod made up of aluminum or iron. Fix a small wax piece of rod. Fix a few small wax pieces on a rod. These pieces should be at nearly equal distance. So we can, with the help of candle, we can put some drop of wax on, say at a distance of 1 centimeter. We can make a gap between each dot of 1 centimeter. Clamp the rod to a stand. You can take two bricks and you can put that rod in between these two bricks. If you do not find a stand, you can put one end of the rod in between bricks. Now heat the other end of the rod and observe what will happen when you heat the other end of the rod. Now heat the other end of the rod and observe what happened to the wax pieces. Do these pieces begins to fall? Yes, these pieces begin to fall from the near end of the candle to the farthest end. Which piece fall the first? The piece which is nearer to the candle will fall first. Why? Because the heat will reaches to that pieces first, which is closer to the candle. The piece which is closer to the candle will remove fast. Because after getting the heat, that wax will melt and the piece will remove from that iron rod or aluminum rod. Do you think that the heat is transferred from the end nearer the flame to the other end? Yes, the heat is going to be transferred from the end which is nearer to the flame to the farthest one. Okay, so the piece which is closer to the flame, candle flame, will remove first, and after that the second and third and fourth and so on, all the pieces will remove when it will get some heat. The process by which heat is transferred from hotter end to the colder end of an object is known as conduction. So student, in today's topic, we are going to discuss some method of heat transfer. And the first method is conduction. First method is conduction. So underline this. The process by which heat is transferred from the hotter end to the colder end of an object is known as conduction. This is our first method of heat transfer. So the first method is conduction. First method is conduction. So student, underline this. The process by which heat is transferred from the hotter end to the colder end of an object is known as conduction. Conduction. And student, one more thing, you have to remember that the conduction take place in solids. All the solid material follow the rule of conduction. If I ask in question that what type of heat transfer is take place inside solid material, solid material, so you will simply give the answer that this by the method of conduction, by the method of conduction. If we heat aluminum metal or any material made up of iron, any material made of aluminum, zinc, copper, or anything which is made up of a solid material, metal, and the heat is transferred, that heat will be transferred by which method? The method of conduction. Method of conduction. And in the method of conduction, heat is transferred from hotter end to the colder. So simply the definition of conduction, the process by which heat is transferred from the hotter end to the colder end of an object is known as conduction. So student, you have to underline this. This is an important term, and this is the first method of heat transfer. This is the first method of heat transfer. Generally, heat is transferred by the process of conduction. Generally, heat is transferred by the process of conduction. So student, in figure 8.4, you are having different material, like you are having a plastic scale and the pencil made up of wood, a spoon, a compass. So different material are there. So do all the substance conduct heat easily, and water is also there? You must have observed that the metallic pan for cooking has a plastic or wooden handle. This is the question. Why cooking pan has a handle of made up of plastic or wood? Why? Because plastic and wood does not allow heat to transfer. They are not good conductor. So here, as you have discussed in a junior classes or previous classes, that what are conductor, what are insulator, those material which allow heat to pass through them are known as conductor, and those material which does not allow heat to pass through them are known as insulator or bad conductor. So now student, the question is, why metallic pen has a plastic or wooden handle? Wooden handle, because we know that all the metal will allow heat to pass through them. They become hot when we heat that metallic pen. So if the handles are also hot, so it is very difficult for us to remove that pen or to handle that pen. So what we do, we simply made that handle with a material which are not good conductor of heat. And what are those material? Plastic and wood. Plastic does not allow heat to pass through them. Wood will also not allow heat to pass through them. That is why the handle of cooking pan are made up of wood or plastic. So can you lift a hot pan by holding it from the handle without getting hurt? No, it is not possible. Yes, if they are made up of wood or plastic, we can lift the hot pan very well. Now the activity 4.7, heat water in a small pan or a beaker. Collect some article which as steel spoon, plastic scale, pencil, divider, compass. Dip one end of each of these particle in the hot water. So again, this is a simple activity. You take a beaker made up of glass. You can take a plastic container also. Put the hot water into that container and put some material like plastic scale, a pencil made up of wood, a spoon, a divider. Dip one end of each of the article in the hot water. Wait for a minutes. Few minutes. Touch the other end. Touch the other end. Enter your observation in table 4.3. So we are having table 4.3. This is the table. So you put your observation in this table. Like articles, that is steel spoon made up of metal. Material with which the article is made, that is a metal. So does the other end get hot, or yes or no? Yes, because all the material made up of metal will allow heat to pass through them because they are conductor of heat. They are conductor of heat. Next article, say you will write plastic scale. Plastic scale. So it is made up of plastic. The third column, does the other end get hot? Yes or no? No. No, because plastic is not a good conductor. Again, pencil made up of wood is not a good conductor. What about the divider? Yes, divider is made up of metal. The other end may get heated up. So by this simple activity, we can say that some material allow heat to pass through them. Some material does not allow heat to pass through them. On the basis of these observation, we can conclude that the material which allow heat to pass through them easily are called conductors of heat, are called conductor of heat. For example, aluminium, iron, copper. Aluminium, iron, copper. So student, you have to underline this. The first definition, conductor, the material which allow heat to pass through them easily are called conductors of heat. Conductors of heat. For example, aluminium, iron, and copper. So this is the definition of conductor, and some example are there. The material which do not allow heat to pass through them easily are poor conductor of heat, such as plastic and wood. Poor conductor also known as insulator. The second name of poor conductor is insulator, or we can say bad conductor. So poor conductor, insulator, bad conductor, all are same things. So student, two definition are there in this paragraph. So you have to underline this and you have to write these in your important term. Conductor, insulator. Make a heading, conductor. The material which allow heat to pass through them easily are called conductor. Example are aluminium, iron, copper. In the same way, you will make a heading, insulator, poor conductor, or bad conductor. Make write these three words in a same heading. Okay, to underline this, the material which do not allow heat to pass through them are called poor conductor of heat. Example are plastic, wood, rubber. Okay, so these are the poor example of poor conductor or insulator, or you can say bad conductor. The water and air are poor conductor of heat. They are also poor conductor of heat, but after a certain temperature, they can allow heat. Then how does the heat transfer take place in these substances? As we know that heat is also transferring in water, it is also transferring air. So does it transfer by the method of conduction? No, it does not transfer by the method of conduction. The another method is there. So let us now discuss about that another method of heat by which heat is transferred in water and air. In water and air. But remember one thing, through the air, through the water, heat does not transfer by the method of conduction. By the method of conduction, heat will only transfer in solid material like metals. In all the metal, heat will transfer by conduction. So student, now let's discuss about another method by which heat is transferred in air and water. So let us perform this activity first. Activity 4.8. Take a round bottom flask, or you can take any container in your house. The flask is not available, you can take a beaker. Fill it with two-third with water. Two-third with water. Place it on a tripod. As you see the tripod having three legs in your laboratory, or make some arrangement to place the flask in such a way that you can heat it by placing a candle below it without touching, or you can place it on a burner. Wait till the water in the flask is still. Still means no disturbance should be there. Place a crystal of potassium permanganate at the bottom of the flask gently by using a straw. By using a straw. Potassium permanganate is a material, or you can say a simple chemical material, which is only available in laboratory, school laboratory. So now heat the water by placing the candle just below the crystal. Heat it by placing the candle just below the crystal. Write your observation in notebook and also draw the picture what you observe. So as given in a figure 4.9, when the water is heated, so look at the figure. Just look at the figure 4.9. We are going this type of activity. We are going to perform this type of activity. A tripod stand is there, a burner is there, a round bottom flask is there, and fill that two-third part of that flask with water and place a crystal of potassium permanganate. Potassium permanganate. Okay. As we are having a crystal of sugar, in the same manner we are having a crystal, means a piece of potassium permanganate in laboratory. So make this type of arrangement and start heating. So what we observe? What we observe? When water is heated, the water near the flame gets hot. Near the flame, only near the flame, the hot water rises up. This will happen. But this type of phenomena is not happens when we are heating a metal rod. Metal rod. So you have to compare these two cases. In first case, when we are heating a metal rod, heat is transferring just one end to the another end. No particle or no molecule of that iron is moving. No particle is moving. But in case of water, when we start hitting the water near the flame gets hot. It become hot, and the hot water rises up. Hot water rises up. The cold water from the side moves downward. This phenomena will happen. Hot water will rises up, and the cold water from the side moves downward. And again, the sidewise water, which is a cold one, this water also get hot and rises up, get hot and rises up. This phenomena will take place. This phenomena will take place. First, the water becomes hot, it will rise up. The cold water from the side comes down, and it will get some heat, become hot and rises up. And the cold water from the side will comes down, that will get some heat and become hot and rises up. So student, this phenomena will take place. This phenomena will take place. And in which cases we are observing this phenomena? In case of water, in case of gas, in case of air. So student, this is the another type of phenomena that is known as heat transfer in gases or in liquid. So I'm going to revise this again, this topic. When the water is heated, the water near the flame gets hot. Hot water rises up, the cold water from the sides moves down towards the source of heat. This water also gets hot and rises up and rises up. And the water from the side moves down. This process continue till the whole water gets heated up. This process continue till hot water gets heated up. This mode of heat transfer is known as convection. So student, the second method is convection. Second method is convection. So you can simply write the definition of convection. that the mode of heat transfer in water and gases, you can say in liquid and gases, is known as convection. The mode of heat transfer in liquid and gases is known as convection. And what is convection? The water or the gases near the source of heat will become hot and they will rises up. They will rises up, and the hot water from the side comes near the source of heat. After some time, it will become hot and rises up. The cool water or the cold water from the side comes nearer to the source of heat. This process continue. This process continue till whole the water becomes hot. Till whole the water becomes hot. Okay. So student, this type of movement is take place. This type of heat transfer is take place in case of liquid and in case of gases. And this second method, this mode of heat transfer, this type of heat transfer is known as convection. Is known as convection. So student, we have discussed about two method of heat transfer. First method is conduction. First method is conduction. The heat mode of heat transfer in solids only, in which heat is transferred from hotter end to the colder end is known as conduction. The second method is convection. The mode of heat transfer in gases and in liquid is known as convection. Is known as convection. And what process will happen? So you can mark these paragraph from when the water is heated to the convection. So underline this whole paragraph. Beta, this is the explanation of convection. So you have to draw this diagram also when you are going to explain convection. How does the heat travel in air? In the same way, heat travel in air. In which the direction does the smoke goes? The air near the heat source get hot and rises up. In the same way, water near the source heated up, become hot and rises up. The air will also follow the same method of heat transfer, means convection. It will also follow the rule of convection. The air near the heat source get hot and rises, get hot and rises. The air from the sides comes in to take its place. The air from the sides or from the colder region comes into take its place. In this way, the air gets heated. The following activity confirm this idea. So to understand the heat transfer in air, we have to perform the another activity, which is the activity 4.9. So student, let's perform this activity 4.9. Light a candle, keep one hand above the flame and one hand on the side of the flame. But be careful, beta. Don't put your hand very near to the flame because you may get hurt. You may get hurt. So what is the activity? Very simple activity. Burn a candle or light a candle. Put one hand above the flame and one hand side of the flame. Okay. So keep one hand above the flame and one hand on the side of the flame. Do your hand feel equally hot? Do you feel the equal amount of heat is coming? You can see your observation that equal amount of heat is not coming. When the hand is above the flame, it receive more amount of heat. When the hand is side of the flame, it receive less amount of heat. How this happen? If you note which hand feels hotter, if you not which hand feel hotter and why, be careful. Keep your hand at a safe distance from the flame so that they do not get burnt. Okay, this is the precaution you have to take. So student, you can see very well on your screen that in figure 4.9, one hand is side of the candle flame and one hand is above the candle flame. Notice that towards the top, the air gets heated by convection. By convection. because above the flame, the air become hot and it rises up. And that hot air is having more temperature, is having more heat. Okay. But sidewise, sidewise, the same phenomena will happen as in case of water. Sidewise, air is hot. So from the hot region or the sidewise region, that hot air comes near to the flame, it becomes hot and it will rises. This phenomena will repeat again and again. And what is this phenomena? This phenomena is convection. Convection. So student, now with the help of these two activity, you are able to explain the process of convection very well. Okay. So uh, repeat this activity at your home. First, you have to learn these activity. Okay. The air gets heated by convection. Therefore, the hand above the flame feel hot on the sides. However, there is no convection. There is no convection sidewise. The air does not feel as hot as at the top. The people living in the coastal area experiences an interesting phenomena. So, student, on the basis of this convection, there is an interesting phenomena which is going to be happen near the coastal area. So we will discuss about this phenomena in next lecture. Okay, tomorrow we will discuss this. So student, let's recapitulate this topic. A quick recap what we have done today. We just simply discuss about the heat transfer. What is heat transfer? It is always flow from a body at higher temperature to the body at lower temperature, or we can simply say that from hotter object to colder object. So first transfer of heat means first mode of process. So student, the first type or the first mode of heat transfer is conduction, the process by which it is transferred from the hotter end to the colder end, and it generally take place in solids. So in solid, which method is take place? Conduction. But then we have discussed about conductor and insulator, the material which allow heat to pass through them. Conductor, all the metal are conductor, aluminum, iron, copper. Insulator, those material which do not allow heat to pass through them are known as insulator, like rubber, plastic, wood. Then we have discussed about second method, that is convection. Convection is take place in liquid and in gases. So student, learn this activity again and again. You will be able to give the answer of these two type of mode of heat transfer. Okay, student, take care. Have a nice day.